Hey girls, welcome back to the Girl Boss Method. Hey, I want to welcome you to July and I want to set the tone as this being again a fresh new month. And with that, we have fresh intentions. So, this session is all about helping you get a mindset reset. And I want you to use today to reflect, get honest, and also for us to decide who we are choosing to be this month. So that's why this call is all about discipline. And I just want to let you know it's not the sort of scary, punishing kind, it's the kind of discipline that's rooted in self respect. And that's what we're going to be leading with. So, yes, leading yourself this month. So, firstly, I just want to say that again, when we think back to July, or sorry, June, should I say, I want you to take a moment. Again, most of you have done your self reflections at the end of the month, you've done your check ins, etc. for me. But I also want you to kind of refer back and think to yourself, like, what did June teach me? What was it that I struggled with? Was it a lack of time or boundaries? But yes, I'm here to tell you that it's not necessarily always about time. It's probably more boundaries, right? So discipline is choosing what you want more so over what you want right now. Okay. So quite often we kind of sit in the now and think, this is, what I want to achieve in the future in terms of like my goals. And sometimes we think, oh my God, I need it to happen right now. But I almost want you to kind of like slow down with this as well, with this sort of vision. So some of the things that really kind of affected some of you as well this month, I'd say. And again, there was some honesty within these check-ins, but and this is again where you might be doing things like, staying up scrolling, and that's leading you to stay up late in order to unwind. Therefore, that leaves you feeling too tired to train. And it might be again that you're kind of skipping your steps or maybe even your workouts because you are maybe. So again, this is another one that I heard that the weather was too windy or it was too hot on some days. um we kind of just have to get on with it, right? The hotness, I get it. It's, you know again, planning ahead. When does it happen? Does it happen at 6 a.m. in the morning because we know that it's a lot cooler then? Like, you just need to get yourself up 15 minutes earlier and go for a quick walk. um Windy, I mean, that would have been gorgeous this week, so I did get that in the check-ins as well. And then also, when it comes to overthinking the food, and a lot of the time it's because you are unpreparing yourself for these meals. You're asking for more variety, or I don't know what to have, or what shall I have with this, and what shall I have with that. And I'll be honest with you, I eat the same stuff like days in a row. And it's not to say that I've made it for days in a row. It will still, I know that some of you struggle with having food that's maybe not always fresh. So if you want to have it fresh, it's more of a repetition scenario that you're just creating the same meals every day, as opposed to you're eating stodgy food. You're actually just recreating the same stuff that you had yesterday, or maybe allowing some flexibility around that. So, change isn't built when life is easy. It's built when you choose better within the chaos. So, again, we're all looking for changes with the way that our life looks, the way that our health outcomes are showing up, and again, with our aesthetics and our the way that we look physically as well, all the things that we do with our bodies as well. So, the strength that we're regaining, and maybe even how we are preparing our bodies for new things and new changes to come along. These changes will not happen, when life is easy. They usually happen when you kind of push through. And again, it's also about making better choices when, you know, you are stuck in the chaos. So, another thing that I want you to think about is thinking about where you are present right now within your daily actions. What message are your daily actions sending to your future self? So, the reason why I say that is because going to bed, again, even when you want to scroll, prepping your food even when it's boring, saying no without guilt. So, again, talking about those boundaries is going to set you up for your future self. So, again, if you're kind of constantly negotiating with yourself and saying, this can't happen because of this, I can't do X because of that, you're actually delaying your results. So, it's better that you kind of work on having and building that consistency. And so this is what I want July to be for us. I want it to be more about us thinking about the woman that we want to become. So who we are in future, right? As opposed to where we are and expecting things to change in the now. Okay. You've got to remember that the actions that you make today and the consistency, etc., and the habits that we build and form, it's for our future self. And we almost have to fake it before we make it, right? So you have to kind of, in terms of getting that visualization, you've got to make the changes now. So some of the things that we could do with this is actually shifting from, again, purely the outcome focus. So I know I'm talking about future goals here, but I'm talking more about the behavior identity of today, of right now. So rather than going, I need to lose this 3 kg, I need to lose this, I need to do this, I need to get like this going, and that needs to happen, thinking about the outcome, I want you to think about the identity. So the woman that you're choosing to become. I am the woman who doesn't skip my training. Okay. And again, it's why are you skipping training? It's because you're thinking of this, connecting it to things like, motivation or, fast results, etc. You just do the thing even when you don't feel like it, right? And again, when we're thinking about like almost like a simple framework to follow in terms of identifying this, knowing what your triggers are. So what is it that kind of knocks you off track? Is it something in the way that you sleep, when you notice that actually when you should be going to train, you're feeling a little bit like tired, and maybe you haven't recovered so well since the last session? Well, have a think about some of the things that you've done prior to that. Are they congruent with the outcomes that you're trying to achieve? Are they congruent with who you are trying to become? And then again, building your minimums, so your absolute non-negotiables that you are going to stick to, do or die. What are those daily non-negotiables, even on a bad day? So even if you're not having a great day, you know that you're going to get 6K steps in regardless. Okay, you might be pushing for 10, but actually you're having a bit of a crazy day. It's not going great. So you're going to aim for 6. You're still going to get the stuff done. Another note though, on bad days, we don't have bad days. We might have bad moments. And so when that's happening, you kind of sit in a space and go, this bad thing may happen, or it's happened. You accept it, you acknowledge the feelings that are associated with it, and then you park it and you move it aside and you move on. And that allows the rest of the day to go wonderfully. Okay. And then owning your time. So finding out where these leaks are, right? Is it the scrolling? Because you scrolled last night until midnight, you didn't get into bed in time. That obviously led you the next day to kind of make unsavory choices. Because you are snacking, that might be a result of your pre-planning of your meals not being in order or even allowing certain snacks within there. Again, things, is there chaos? Again, does chaos occur? Because again, I get it. Sometimes with some of your lives, things are just thrown at you. But when it comes to the basics and it comes to doing the minimum, it comes to the things that you just need to do anyway, how are those things organized within your day? And so this comes on to routine isn't boring, but it's where the results come. My results, time and time again, every time I have gone through, my own sort of transformations, we all have ups and downs within life, or we're pushing for certain things, or we're moving for certain things, and things get in the way, or you take a step back and you relax, and all sorts of things happen, right? But every single time I have pushed myself to get somewhere, it's not because I'm sitting in chaos and I'm going crazy and I'm doing some like insane secret stuff that I'm not telling on anyone else about. No, it's literally because I am following routine and I'm doing the boring because that's where the results come. And again, it's not that I'm sort of, finding magical recipes. Um, it's doing the same stuff. I'm repeating myself constantly. I'm eating a lot of the same meals a lot of the time. My breakfast has changed from protein oats to protein puddings because the weather has changed. So I'm enjoying having an Alpro yogurt mixed with protein powder and berries with a bit of granola for crunch, as opposed to the oats, for example. It's just those small things. They're still aligned with, you know, the goals and the boring, right? So when it comes to things like why certain things are happening, right? So we might think of like work stress. Work stress again, it's occurring because of poor food choices, or again, the low sleep because you were scrolling, for example. Maybe you were pushing out work. Maybe you have no boundaries at work. And again, this is resulting in, low energy. And as a result of low energy, you don't want to kind of work out as a result of that. So thinking about things that we can do that are examples of like repeatable wins or minimums. We can do things like track our water or like ensure that we're getting in a certain amount of water before our lunch, especially in this weather. 2 liters is not overdoing it. It's very, very hot at the moment. So it's really important that you're staying on top of your hydration, but aiming to get that in before you get your lunch. And say your lunch is at 1 and you wake up and it's like 5:30 or 6 a.m. in the morning, you need to do that. And then maybe even making it that at least you have one tracked meal per day as a minimum, right? If you're someone that's kind of falling off and on and it's not really, you can't get everything going at once, maybe make it that you always have breakfast prepped. Prepped as in prepared in your mind or planned within your mind. You know what that is. You copy and paste it in MyFitnessPal. It's your one tracked meal per day. And then maybe it might also be within like your training. If your training's kind of been a bit easy and a bit relaxed, well, maybe we try and focus on these like small little things we can kind of do, like lifting, small ways of kind of getting those mini dopamine hits, right? 2K heavier on that one movement plan or that one movement pattern or that lift, etc. So now we're going to kind of work through creating or building your own sort of leadership plan. And the reason that we're going to do this is to kind of pause for a moment. So if you're watching, listening back to this, I want you to kind of almost use this opportunity to have this action planning journaling moment. So, what I would like you to do is you can pause me, you can follow along if you like, or take a screenshot, or if you're using your laptop, you can make some notes somewhere. I want you to write one daily non-negotiable. And now we call this out obviously at the beginning every Monday, maybe not every Monday, but most Mondays I might ask you what your non-negotiables are for the week. But maybe we need to kind of frame that and go, what's your daily non-negotiable? What is it? Is it making sure that you get movement in, whether it's a walk or a workout or a stretch or a mobility or what have you? Is it getting up every hour from your desk? Is it focusing on food? Is it taking that attention and going, no matter what, I make sure that I'm hydrated? Is it ensuring that you stop that daily scroll and you get to bed on time, or you build in a routine before bed to make sure that actually happens? And we're avoiding sort of, blue light, etc. There's not sort of binge watching Netflix before you go to bed. Is it something to do with your mindset? Is it something in terms of the way that you speak to yourself? Is it something in the way that you kind of frame, the actions that you're going to take and how you're going to treat yourself and how you're going to talk kindly? And maybe there's a behavior that you need to do away with justifying. You're just done justifying it. Again, when I say that, it could be, for example, I just can't ever get my steps. I can't do it. I can't work so long. I'm at my desk first thing in the morning. It's just not happening. Rather than saying and using those inputs to kind of go, it's not happening, think about your future self and the woman that you are becoming. What would she do? She get up half an hour earlier, 15 minutes earlier? Would she make sure that the night before the trainers were by the door and she just stuck them on and got out the door? Because that's the thing, right? You get up in the morning and you don't even need to shower. You could literally throw some clothes on, some old clothes on, and walk around the block and then come back and go and have a shower and get ready for work and get, in that zone. You don't need to add more barriers or make it difficult for yourself. Then I want you to think about a boundary that you need to set yourself this month. And maybe it's a work boundary. Maybe it's a boundary around other people always expecting or asking things of you, and actually you going, no, I need to protect my time because this is for that future self. That's for that woman that you can see in the future. You can envision that, and that's who I am becoming, and I'm going to make it happen for her, right? So even within this sort of journaling moment, maybe you need to kind of stop and close your eyes and visualize for a second, who is that person that I'm becoming? Would she be saying yes to everybody? Would she be actually respecting, having some discipline around that sort of, again, having some self-respect around that discipline and saying, no, I need to do this. And you might peeve some people off, but you know that you need to do this for your future self. And maybe it's also thinking about the way that you speak to yourself with some more respect this month. Rather than thinking about who you are now and maybe you feel unhappy about certain things, thinking about that future self and saying these are the things that she would feed or say to herself, whether it's sounds bonkers and you stand in front of the mirror and say it and look at yourself and say it in the mirror. Or it's maybe something you kind of repeat to yourself as an affirmation before you go to sleep or as you fall asleep. Maybe there's something that you're going to tell yourself that's empowering, that's going to help you align and help you align with those goals and help push you and drive you forward. So I think it's really important for some of those. So have a note of those. I'd love for you to share with these with me. It would be even better if you shared them within the group as well. I think it'd be really cool if you shared it within the group. So I kind of want to end with this, right? You can either lead yourself this month. You've got two choices, right? You can either lead yourself this month or keep playing catch up. Keep playing catch up with the person that you're trying to become yesterday or today. Think about that future self. Think about who it is and keep leading in that respect. So, what I would like you to do, and I've kind of said this already ish, July non negotiable inside the group tonight. And with that, you'll have that bonus accountability action. You'll earn a bonus point for doing that within our current July challenge that we're doing for the first, I think I said 10 days or 14 days, can't remember. Someone remind me, pop it in the group. Anyway, ladies, I hope you enjoyed listening and joining me on this call tonight. Again, watch back any past videos, report back into the group. Let's get this really fun, engaging, keep the momentum going. Let's have a wicked July month. Some really cool topics that we're going to be covering this month, obviously, inside the program. We release the timetable every month, beginning of the month, and yeah, I just think it's great that we're also looking at trying to get these done once or twice a week with some options on time. We're going to be covering some live tracking on Monday, and then we'll be talking a little bit more about sort of, again, holidays, the heat, the hormones, so again, building up around some action and some mindset, again, staying on track without losing your mind, talking about some training, working towards sort of training to actually see changes and how that affects our bodies, how we're building strength and shape. Again, covering the topic of tracking at weekends or even like takeaways, buffets, social events, etc. And then we'll finish off again the month with a live tracking call. But again, as always, I hope these are massively helpful. Keep dropping in your ideas for topics that you'd love covered. And yeah, we'll see you here next time.